So here we go. Number 3, go see the camera if you can. So you see the camera of your dreams and it looks great. However, just because it looks great on paper or on the web doesn't mean you'll love it in real life. For example, if the camera is too large or too small for your hands, it doesn't really matter how great its specs are, you're never going to be comfortable with it. It's very true. Had I gone out to a store and played with the TX1, I don't know if I would have gotten it right away. And so that's one of the reasons why I sold my TX1. Number 4, watch out for scams. This is out of all the tips that Ben's got here, and these are great tips, by the way, general tips, but awesome tips. Watch out for scams, especially with digital cameras. They're popular bait and switch online scams. If you see a deal that looks too good to be true, well, it probably is. Do a search for the seller and see what comes up. Last time I was looking for a camera, I saw 3 retailers selling it at an unbelievable price. But when I searched for their names, I found multiple blog and forum posts for each saying how they were a scam. Some even had pictures taken from their addresses listed on their sites where they were found boarded up or abandoned buildings. Just because the site lists a phone number, it may not be enough. Also, make sure you know where the camera is from, not just where it's shipped from, the camera's origin. The camera might end up being from Japan, in which case there will be no warranty. Examples of good online sellers are B&H Photo Video and Amazon.com. They really do have good prices. I recently purchased mine through, I think, buydig.com. My experience was okay. They were relatively uncommunicative, and they used a shipping process that didn't have great tracking, so I didn't know where this thing was for like a week. It did come to me, and it came in good condition, and I got a really good price on it. If the camera is listed like substantially lower, like hundreds of dollars lower than you're seeing it anywhere else, I guarantee that at some point during that order process, even if you do it all online, you'll have to take a phone call. You'll have to either call someone up, talk to them on the phone. That's where the bait and switch happens. It happens all the time. I've almost been burnt by these things. I'll call them like, yeah, I seen your special for this camera, blah 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 blah. And they say, oh yeah, no, that's the special, and we've got, do you want this camera accessory kit, and this lens, and the special, blah, 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 blah. And pretty soon, all these add-ons that they sell you that are absolutely worthless will end up costing you, like, twice as much as the original camera itself. Or they'll take your order and then never deliver. You got to be really careful. Digital cameras, big scams out there. In fact, and I'm sorry, Ben, not to interrupt your list here, but I gotta tell everybody this. I was in San Francisco a couple years ago, and I was looking at getting this new digital a Canon camera, and I saw one. I'm like, wow, like this price off the shelf is amazing. So I went to buy it. I was like, yeah, this is great. This is a great price. I can't believe you have it for this. Oh yeah. Well, they only took cash. It's like, all right, well, okay. So we go down to the ATM, pick out some cash. Here you go. I said, here's the whatever. I said, okay, so and then they told me after I forked it over, however much it was, they said, okay, so the battery's $200. I said, excuse me? I said, the battery's $200. I'm like, give me my money back. The battery is not $200. Be very, 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 very careful. Very careful. And I'm being very adamant on this point because you can save yourself a lot of time, energy, and frustration if you don't save money. It's good to save money, but don't. There is such a thing as too good to be true. Ben, thank you so much for that point. Number 5. Pay attention to the small details. When buying a camera, a lot of tiny things you might not notice when researching a camera. Here are some of the more important ones as Ben listed. Media types. So remember to check out what kind of digital media it takes. SD, compact flash, etc. File format. Most of them are going to shoot in JPEG. See what kind of movie formats it takes. One of the reasons why, and again, I'm not trying to be a salesman for any of these brands, but I'll tell you the reason why I got the Casio XLM, and one of the reasons I'm happy with it is it does video in MP4 format, which means it's ready for YouTube, means it's ready for the iPhone or the iPod or the Zune or the PSP. MP4 video is the way to go, and it does it all on camera. No extra software needed. Big selling point for me. Number 3, viewfinder. Very handy thing to have on your camera. If you don't care, you can ignore this. I've never, after I started using the LCD screen, where you've got the picture on your LCD, I never use this anymore. You never see this. It's always this. You never see this anymore. It's always that. I don't know. Viewfinders are only good if you've got a digital SLR, a single lens reflex camera. because what you see is what you get. It's not the same for these point and shoots. And number 4, he suggests here the battery type. Look for rechargeable lithium-ion battery cameras, as the camera will go longer than one with